Calling to order the Permanent Public Building Committee appointing authority for March 18th. It looks as though it's been a while since this group last met. I'm surprised we continued to have appointees who were within their dates on the PVBC, but it seems like it's a good thing to me. The first article of business is the review of the prior meeting's minutes and adoption of those minutes. Are there any changes or corrections? If there are none, then we will put those on file. Thank you. The second order of business and the primary reason for our gathering today is to discuss the PVPC application for the term expiring in December 31st, 2025. So I don't know if anybody here can answer this. This is for a partial term?
That's correct.
All right. So the applicant has applied for a partial term, will need to be reappointed again at the completion of filling that term. And so I will open it up for discussion. Mr. Dermody is here this evening, and I believe you know everybody who's on the appointing authority.
I do.
You believe you do? So maybe I will just ask you if you could start by saying why you were interested in this role. Thank you for all your service to the town over the years, and we appreciate your interest, but talk to us about this one.
All right, great. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining or allowing me to come tonight. Long history of involvement in the town, as Mary Ann said, and I'm an architect by training and an academic, a professor of architecture. So I spend my time talking about buildings, and I've been in Needham a long time. I've had a 10 to 12 year stint on the design review board. I did 2 terms on CPC. I've been at town meeting for many years. And with my other engagements, I've finished with CPC. I will step down from DRB should I need to, and I'm wrapping up a position on the board of the community council. So the timing is good as well. So primarily an interest in the built environment, broadly speaking, especially in my hometown. And then just the timing is right. I've kind of had it on my agenda for a while, but the timing is right now.
Great. And so I will open it up. I'm just looking around to see who would like to ask questions.
I'll ask a question. Bob, thank you for applying. And you have great experience. I just wondered, with your experience and you know, I'm sure you've intersected with the PVPC in the past. I'm just wondering if there's anything about the model that is used by the PVPC, which has been used for quite a while now, that you might view as outmoded or perhaps subject to change in the future. Just wondering if with your kind of a new pair of eyes on the process, whether you have any views going in of that nature.
A good question. Thank you, Michael. Yes, I interacted with them primarily in the DRB. So they presented projects, and also during my time on CPC, especially with the Emery Grover project. I can't speak directly necessarily to PPBC, but my experience in town of having sort of multiple stakeholders at the table, I think has always been valuable, and also different skill sets. I've experienced that on both DRB and CPC, having people backgrounds, not all specifically design related. And I think that's helped. So if that answers your question, I think having different types of skill sets of people on the committee is incredibly valuable.
Thanks. Anything about the model that you think requires any attention or revision?
From this perspective, I would reserve judgment on that right now, just given my interaction as being sort of at arm's length so far. But would be willing to share my thoughts should the process go forward.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And on CPC, you would have been involved or intersecting primarily related to the housing authority? No.
We did spend quite a bit of time on Housing Authority. The current project for Linden Chambers, we sort of started, but it didn't get to town meeting, so we're heavily
Okay.
involved in that. We did a lot up at Captain Robert Drive, the renovations there. Emery Grover was the big one, and I was the liaison for the Emery Grover project.
For CPC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think even during my time on Design Review Board, we had the Mitchell Modulars come in. Some Sunita Williams projects, aspects of that project came in. So that's the Design Review Board I've really enjoyed because you get to see a lot of different things, not just, private enterprises wanting to put up a new sign, but all town buildings would come in for site plan review and design review.
Public safety too, right? You
Yep.
did public safety.
Yeah, yep, very involved.
Good. Any other questions? I was gonna say, I feel like I don't have a lot of questions. I've known Bob for a long time. I think he brings a lot to this committee. I would observe, as an outside observer, that I think we have a number of committee members on this committee who have served here for a long time. And I think at some point the town needs to think about how we refresh that in some significant ways. That's probably a separate discussion, but
I think a follow-up to that is that I know, speaking to Stuart and to Hank, the PVC is embarking on what likely could be a very long Pollard project, and is looking for people who are willing to stick it out for a lot of that project.
well, that may need a whole separate discussion to think about how that can work.
I think they go together.
Yeah,
And for the record, I'm a graduate of Pollard and actually took a class there called architecture with Mr. Frank Carchidi.
back in the day, did
Back
that
in the
spark
day.
your interest?
Yes, it did.
I remember.
There you go.
And actually, I did have another quick question regarding term. So, finishing out term 5, what are standard term lengths?
3.
3, 5.
So I was gonna come back to that in sort of the next item, but if is there a motion related to Mr. Dermody?
I would gladly make a motion to approve Bob Germany to the PVVC board.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Jay, we need to poll everybody, so if you want to vote positively or negatively,
I want to vote positively. I'm in favor.
all right, Chris,
In favor.
Michael?
In favor.
I don't have anybody else, right?
Just you.
Just me, and I will vote yes, so thank you very much for agreeing to step up in another way for the town, Bob.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for your time.
And Hank thinks.
What
I was gonna
happens
say,
next?
and Hank Brown's here.
Miles has a,
Now you have to pay the fee.
Well,
the Marion and Jay will sign this and then we'll put the others
Okay.
as, who's done council.
and does he have to go be sworn in?
Yes.
does.
But she,
Has Teddy already left? I didn't hear you. Okay,
Yeah, you'll be
Um,
contacted by a member of staff in our office
Okay.
and we'll coordinate that process with the clerk.
And first meeting I should attend might be?
Our next meeting is the 25th,
I think it's next week.
yeah, next Monday,
so if you could get sworn in by
a
then.
week from today.
I will stop by and I will look forward to hearing from your office, Miles.
Great.
Now we have another,
We have another
Role to-
item.
well, we have another role to fill too on the DRB.
Oh,
No sign?
That's true.
We
No
need
one
that
else?
ready to
no,
once you
just
sign.
those people come to me.
Once you're sworn in, yeah,
Yes.
then you actually have to formally resign.
Is there a correct sequence to do that?
Get sworn in first.
Yeah.
And then you can resign
Okay.
and resign to Teddy and
Yep.
Teddy will get it to the rest of us.
Yep.
I'd bring your resignation letter to the clerk's office when you go to swear in.
Okay. It's kind of this. All right.
That works.
Anything else?
I think that's it. We have another agenda item, so we can carry on here,
Okay.
but you are ready to be finished.
Thank you, Michael and Chris.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, thank you for stepping up, Bob.
All right, take care, everyone.
Felicitations,
See you
right.
evening.
Yes, thank you, Bob.
The next item we have is the reappointment of current PVVC members. So there are 3 members who, it looks like their terms had expired and they have been continuing to serve. since those terms expired, since the committee last met in 2021. So if I could have a motion to reappoint these members, I would appreciate that. I think there's a bigger picture that we need to talk about in terms of length of service and all of that, but for the time being, we'll keep the group functioning. We have major projects. If I could have, a motion.
I'll move to reappoint the current PPPC members on the agenda.
I will second that.
I was gonna say, and provided there's no objection, I'm happy to take them as a group. It looks like that has occurred in the past as well. So there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, then again, I will pull the members. Jay,
Right, I'm in favor, aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
and I will vote aye. So we are in favor. Miles, it seems like it would be prudent, given that this appointment cycle is different from everything else, to just put like a placeholder somewhere on your calendar to think about getting this group together so we don't get so out of date, maybe. Like we do with Minuteman, you know, maybe we create a potential holding date for the appointing authority or something like that. It just, it feels like being this far in arrears is tricky, and I was like, maybe we should be reappointing the people up at the end of 2024 already if we're not gonna meet for another 3 years, but,
Usually you meet when there's a vacancy is how it's worked, but you could certainly meet more often.
okay. All right, any other topics not reasonably anticipated in advance?
Question, do those other people need to get re-sworn in?
Yes, they will.
They do.
We'll contact you.
So you'll copy that.
Yeah, they'll be told that they need to do that. All right. So, I think you guys probably will end up needing to sign these, or somebody will.
We'll just put on.
You'll put on, okay. You'll be auto-signed, I think.
We'll put a note on it.
All right.
The minutes can attach.
Fabulous. If there's not any other topics that somebody's thought about, then I would welcome a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I think we'll follow the regular flow.
All right, Jay,
I'm in support of that motion.
Chris,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Thank
Thank
you
you,
all
everyone.
for coming. We appreciate your convening. I know it was tricky to get scheduled.
Yeah, thanks for doing it by Zoom. So, you know, I'm in Boston right now, so I appreciate the ability to do it remotely. Thanks.